Yeah, I think one of the things that we've worked on going back all the way to the end of last season is trying to make our team a more cohesive unit. And the reason behind that, you might think swimming and diving are very individual, but when you're racing, that's true. But most of the work to get you to those peak performances is done as a team when you're in practice, and we're trying to create a more positive practice environment so we can do harder things, and that goal, which we sat down in March of last year, and this is what we need to do to get better, and the women's program has done a really good job with that. In 16 seasons, I haven't had a team, both men and women together, that have created an environment that's better for training, and it just makes every day going into a practice really exciting as a coach. There's very little negativity, which is tough in a sport where you're constantly beating yourself up. So in fact, it's quite the opposite. They're very encouraging. They're always looking for what's next, what's going to be the next hard thing, and I think that we couldn't be in a better place. Performance-wise, we've seen that. We worked really hard in November, and we had a really good meet in December at our Ithaca Invitational. The performances there were better than I've ever seen in season as a whole, and going back to last week on our training trip and what we've done this week, I can't wait to see what they do in these upcoming meets. I think we have 4 more dual meets. 6 weeks from today, we're at our championship meet. I think you'll see a lot of good things from each person in our program.
So some of our goals have stayed the same throughout all of our seasons. Since I'm a senior, I've seen the goals of now 4 years. And a lot of them are like personal best. I want to do this in the 100 fly, this in the 100 back, this in the 2 free. And so we set our goals we have in-season times, but then we have our states times. And so dual meets times are a little wishy-washy. Like if you hit it, it's awesome. If you don't, we don't train for dual meets. So it's not really a big letdown, because our biggest goal is states, which is in the end of February. And that is one of the biggest differences in our season so far this year, is our states is set up differently. For the past 3 years, we've had a really, really big championship meet with people from different divisions, different conferences, and we all come together, but that was disbanded last year. And so this year, our championships is only the Empire 8s. So we only have 5 teams going to our championships. And so that makes a big difference on who gets to come back in the afternoon, who gets into finals, who gets to be on the podium, who's going to be in A relays, because A relays are now only swimming in the afternoon. And so now we've had these in our heads, and we've created more goals, more better times we want to hit to make these relays as best as we can, because now we have more one-on-one competition with teams like Utica, which we know are like, when it comes to championships meets, we're kind of neck and neck with. So that's something we focus on in Florida. Like Florida's the tipping point of the season, where we're like, all of fall is now behind us, and now we're like looking over and we can see states like looming, and taper, and like all of our challenge sets are like starting to come down, and it's pretty like overwhelming, but I think we're gonna be fine. I think we've got it.
Well, Brian's actually said a couple times this season that we are way ahead of where we should be, and he's actually really proud of our progress there. We recently just went to Deerfield Beach for our training trip, and we had a lot of fun. We did way better than we expected. A lot of us were dropping more time than we had hoped, which is awesome. And then we also got a chance to go snorkeling on our afternoon off, and it was probably more of a workout than we had been doing, because we were out there for an hour and a half, and we found a sea turtle. That was pretty cool. But overall, we're doing really well. We're not really too concerned about our dual meets. We're actually looking forward to states in February, which is something that Brian pushes. We're not really training for dual meets, we're training for states. So we're super excited for that. He's really pumped, and he thinks we're gonna do way better than we did last year. The freshmen are great. They're a powerhouse in and of itself. They've brought a lot to this team that we didn't really have last year, and the seniors are ready to go out with a bang.